If you're looking for a professional laptop for your small or medium business, well, then you need something that's more than just a work machine or device. You need something that's your presentation machine, that's your mobile office, that's the face that you show to the world. So you want something that looks nice and feels nice, but it also has to have the right performance, the right specs, the right features. And there's so much to choose from. There are some things, however, you want to make sure that you're looking at, especially if you're looking for a commercial laptop versus a consumer one. A couple of things that I like, for example, are the little touch points here on some Lenovo ThinkPad laptops. This is a throwback to the earliest days of laptops, and a couple of these ThinkBooks and maybe a few other systems still have them. I love it. You can really move your cursor around very easily just by putting your finger on this little track point right in the middle. Or in something like the Asus ProArt, I love that it has a jog wheel built in. And if you're doing professional video editing or working with audio and you're scrubbing through footage, you're scrubbing through sounds, well, it's really cool to be able to have this jog wheel right here, and it works different ways in different programs depending on what you're doing. If you didn't have this, you'd have to get an external jog wheel, or you'd have to try to do it with a touchpad or a mouse, which is much, much more difficult. You might have a company or work for a company that is very security conscious. In that case, you might want a laptop with a smart card reader. Now, that is not something you're going to find all the time, but here's an example of it right here. So you need to have the right smart card to interact with this reader in order to access your computer. And that is one way to make sure that your data is kept very secure. And that is something, again, you're only going to find in a professional laptop, not a consumer laptop. And speaking of professional laptops, I'm looking at a bunch of Dell Latitudes right here. That's one of the more popular commercial lines. If you want a consumer laptop, Dell has XPS, they have Inspiron. If you want just a regular commercial laptop for your small or medium business, well, then there's Latitude. If you need to move up another step, well, then they have Precision laptops, and those are more workstations for more, heavy duty workloads. But Latitude is basically what a lot of people in the SMB space are going to use. Something I really appreciate about commercial laptops is a lot of the engineering and thought that goes into design and ruggedness and usability. A great example of that is down on some of these Lenovo laptops, where you can see the keyboards have this little tiny curve here at the bottom, just a tiny little bit of a convex curve. And that comes from decades and decades of Lenovo research and experimentation into how to build the perfect keyboard, especially for professional users who demand a high standard of quality. And what I find is having that little curve right there, make sure that you're going to catch the bottoms of the keys when you're typing. You're going to miss keys a lot less often, and that is the kind of attention to detail that you really demand if you're spending more and buying a professional laptop that you need for work. And of course, you want to make sure that you have enough power in your professional laptop. A lot of these are powered by Intel Core i7 processors, but they're starting to move into the Core Ultra series. And that Core Ultra series from Intel, along with some new chips coming from Qualcomm and AMD, they all have NPUs, or neural processing units. And those can actually run a lot of the local AI separately on your machine. So if you want to use AI in your business, but you don't want to upload everything to the cloud somewhere, you want to make sure it stays on your company property machines, well, then you need an NPU to run that AI software in the background while your CPU and your GPU are free to do the everyday stuff you need to do. And that's why I think a lot of people, especially on the professional side, are going to be shopping for laptops with NPUs. So that's a lot of things you should keep in mind when you're shopping for a commercial laptop. Even though they might look the same as consumer laptops, inside there's a lot of differences. You want to make sure you get the right specs and the right features that you're going to need for your business.